today we continue work on our 1955 Studebaker. Unfortunately, I want to get the engine running. And to do that, I need to put the fenders back on because we need to mount all the electronics on the fenders, which means it's time to restore the front fenders. We're going to start with what I believe is the worst of the two, what I really hope is the worst of the two. This is the driver's side, and unfortunately, somebody decided to smooth out the rust with Bondo. Figured out why it's so damn thick. It is because someone did actually try to do it right. The issue is they didn't cut out the original metal first. What they did, as you can see, looks like it's gold. The weld is gold for some reason. I don't know why it's gold. It's not stainless. I doubt they brazed it, but who knows. But as you can see, they welded in a plate right there over top of a rust hole. This section right here is a new piece of metal. Good news, everyone! It's not near as bad as I was thinking. All we gotta do is we gotta weld in a square right there, and we have to replace this strip right along here. There was actually another plate welded on top here, or whatever the gold stuff was, to cover up our original antenna hole. So it's not that bad of a repair. Honestly, this is a lot better than I was thinking. This right here is that square, and as you can see, we got our original metal and our new metal welded directly on top. And you can tell that new metal was not done recently. When I initially saw that this body fill went out like a foot, I was terrified that this entire section was going to be rusted through, and I was going to be replacing like most of this fender, but that's not true. It's just because they welded that metal on top of the old metal, they had to slope it out really far. And to be fair, they actually did a fairly good job at that, because I didn't actually realize that. I knew there was body fill, but I didn't realize it went out anywhere near that far. There's a little bit of a hole there, so we'll probably have a little section there we need to replace, but again, this is a lot solider of a fender than I was fearing it was. By a plasma cutter. The fact you can just adjust the amps to make it so you can get through the one layer, but not through the second layer, insanely awesome. I wasted a lot of time not buying a $150 plasma cutter at the beginning of this project. Fortunately, I was actually thinking this fender was going to be the better of the two fenders because of how much the other one was hiding, but unfortunately, now that I actually know, I think this one's probably is worse because we have all of this visible rust, and since it hasn't been repaired, there's no invisible rust, but you can see that this entire seam has bubbled up, which means we're going to have to do the exact same repair. We're going to have to cut out that entire section and replace it. So, unfortunately, it's the exact same, just worse because it has a little bit more rust over here.